Hey there, Morgan here from Crafting a Lovely Life, and today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute trick-or-treat bag using your Cricut and Infusible ink transfer sheets. This bag is perfect for your little ones to take with them trick-or-treating this year, and the best part is that it's super easy to make. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is measure our tote bag. I'm using an Infusible ink tote bag from Cricut. It's important that your tote bag is made for infusible ink or sublimation. Infusible ink will not work on all material types, so it's really important that you get the right kind of bag. I've linked all of the products I recommend for this project below, so you can grab the exact tote bag I'm using today. I'm going to measure the height of the bag to see how big I can make this design. For the bag I'm using, 10 inches for the height is about perfect. Now we are going to open up a new project in Cricut Design Space, then we can upload our design. The design I'm using today is available for free on my website, and I'll link that down below so you can download it. Once your design is uploaded, you can resize it to fit on the tote bag. Next, we can attach the different parts of the design so they stay together when we are cutting. To do this, we need to select the entire design and click Ungroup. I'm going to turn off the white layer that goes on the candy for this design. Since the tote bag is light colored, I don't think it is needed. I'm also turning off the yellow bat eyes because I really don't want to mess with another color of infusible ink, and I don't think it will make a huge difference for this design. The only color of the design that I'm going to attach is the black part. The other colors will be individually placed on the bag, so they don't need to be attached while we cut. So just select the black group in the Layers panel and click Attach. Now we can select Make It. You will see that Cricut Design Space has put each color on its own individual mat. You can cut them this way if you want. You will just load up the mat for each color. What I like to do to save time is move as many elements as possible to one mat. I'm going to leave the black mat as it is and then move all of the candy pieces to one mat. To do this, you'll just go to the mat you want to move, select the design, and click the three dots on the top left corner. Then click Move Object. Now you can select what mat you want to move it to. Then we can do the same thing for the remaining pieces of candy. Just make sure you keep track of what colors go where, so when you place the infusible ink on the mat later, you will know where to put each color. Anytime you use infusible ink, you will need to mirror your mats, so go ahead and click the mirror option for each mat. First, we will cut the black infusible ink. Place the infusible ink on the mat with the ink side up. Then I like to use a brayer tool to make sure that the material is really stuck to the mat. Now we can click Continue in Design Space and select our material type. Search for Infusible ink transfer sheets and then select More Pressure. If you are using an Explore machine, just turn the dial to Custom, and then you can select the same options in Design Space. Anytime I cut infusible ink, I always select More Pressure. This makes it so much easier to weed after it's cut. If you are using Design Space on a tablet or phone, you will not be able to select More Pressure. That feature is currently only available when you are connected to a computer, which I do recommend when you are cutting infusible ink. Once you select your material type, you can load your mat and select the C button to start cutting. When the machine is done cutting, you can unload your mat and remove the infusible ink. Next, we will place the colored infusible ink onto the standard grip mat. Refer back to the mat in Design Space to make sure you get the pieces of infusible ink in the right spots on the mat. Then load the mat and start cutting. Unload the mat and remove the infusible ink. Before I start weeding the design, I will check to see if there are any large pieces of infusible ink that I can trim off and use for smaller projects in the future. Then we can start weeding. To weed the infusible ink, we will just peel back the corner and carefully pull off the excess ink. Then, to get the smaller parts of the design, we will gently bend the ink and peel off the smaller pieces. Next, cut the plastic backing sheet on the purple candy pieces so we can place them separately on the bag. Cricut's heat guide says to set the easy press to 375 degrees for 40 seconds. So turn on your easy press and set the temperature and time. I will link Cricut's heat press guide below. Before applying the design, you will want to preheat the bag. Place a few sheets of butcher paper larger than your heat press down to protect the bag and then heat the bag for 15 seconds. Now we can place the infusible ink down on the tote bag. If you want to find the direct center of the tote bag, you can fold it in half and then apply heat to create a crease down the center of the bag. Since this bag has handles in the center of it, I just placed the design in between the handles to get it centered. Place the black trick-or-treat part of the design down first. Then, if needed, trim off the excess plastic backing on the candy pieces. This will allow you to place the candy pieces closer to the trick-or-treat part of the design. You want to make sure the ink is in direct contact with the tote bag, so make sure there isn't any of the plastic backing sheet in the way of the ink. I have the design pulled up on my computer so I can double check the placement of all of the candy pieces. For the lollipop, you will want to cut the plastic backing on the green piece so it can sit right up next to the black stick in the design. Before you apply heat to the bag, make sure you place a piece or two of white cardstock in the bag to cover the entire design. This will avoid having the infusible ink transfer through to the other side of the bag. Then, when you are ready to heat, place a few sheets of the butcher paper back down to protect your heat press. Now you can place the heat press on top of the design. Make sure your heat press covers the entire design and apply firm and even pressure for the entire 40 seconds. When the 40 seconds are up, wait a few seconds and then peel up the plastic backing sheet to reveal your design. Isn't infusible ink amazing? I love how this trick-or-treat bag turned out, and my kids are super excited to fill it with all of their favorite candy this Halloween. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and get a chance to make your own trick-or-treat bag this Halloween. Don't forget to grab this design and written tutorial on my website listed below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!